Right. It's been a while, believe it or not. So what we're going to be doing today is using the last of my my orange blossom honey, and we're going to be making a peach mead. I'm going to use a peach extract to flavor it at the end, probably about 5 months later. And what I'm going to do here, since this is all crystallized, you can see it, is I'm going to pour boiling water in here, which I got here in the kettle. It's not boiling, but it's 150 some degrees. Get on there. It's always got to be difficult. Really? Alright, we're going to get a different hose here. I'm not cutting away here. We're going to get at it later. But we'll ferment this in a big mouth bubbler when all is said and done. Alright, I love this chair so I don't have to... Oh, is this going to fit too? Yeah, that one will fit, I think. Wow. Barely, it did. Now the trick is to use this hose to wash all that off the side, the hot water, and then thin it out. And off we go. And then we'll stir this up. And like I say, once it's all mixed up, we'll pour it in the big mouth bubbler. The camera's picking that up. I'll get closer here. This is about a 3.5 gallon pail. Original pail that the honey came in. I'm not even photographing there. I think I'll stop right there. And we'll do a stir. And like I say, this water going in, there's 140 degrees. Yeah, she's all chunky down there. And this, we're going to just rough it this time on what the ABV is going to be out of this. Because like I say, I'm using all the rest of the honey that was in here. And we don't have no idea what she's going to come in at. The original gravity. I'm just using the spoon to break up the bottom right now. In chunks. The honey had crystallized from being out here all this time. So we're going to guess what this is going to come in at, but we're not going to be doing much adjustment on that, that's for sure. Let's put some more water in. Hot water. Like I say, this is 140 degree water. I'm using an electric heater instead of wasting all my propane. So we'll save you the viewing hassle of watching me stir this up and getting the chunks broken off the bottom there. And we'll come back once it's all ready to go into the carboy, the big mouth carboy that I'm going to use, I believe. Got a few more chunks. She's starting to melt in there, so we just keep it stirring. That's the gig. All right, this is all mixed up in here. She came out at 1.110, but that's not the final until I get it into carboy and we thin it out a little bit more. So I'm gonna dump this into the carboy or all over the ground, one or the other. You know how that goes. So here we go. Let's see what I can do. Debating whether I want to use the funnel or not. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! I'm not good at this. Whew. I did it. Oh wow, I did it. And I didn't even dump any. That's amazing. There's a little bit more in the kettle here. Get that rinsed out, thinned out. That's 5 gallons. Since this is so warm, we'll end up pitching the yeast tomorrow. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, we'll dump this in. I remind you, this is still hot water. I would have preferred if it was cool water by now, but deal with what you got. That's way too warm to pitch the yeast. Okay. Now I'm looking for cool water. I'm gonna have to go get some, because I don't want to put hot water in here. Now we'll top it off with some cold water. I added metabisulfate to it. To get rid of the chloramines and chlorines. Then we get 6 gallons out of here. And get it stirred up again. Now we'll get a reading. That looks like a good batch right there. So, one thing nice about these big bubblers, you can go ahead and get a spoon in there to stir it again. So that's a good stir. get a reading in the hydrometer. Sterilized I. Sanitized it. Let's see. Where's she floating? Oh. All right, it's hard to see here. Let's come around again one time. We're 2 into the green, 2 notches into the green. We're at it's like 1070, and I can't really see it. Oh. That's 1070 at the bottom. So 1070. Homo. Still in the green. 1078. Right? 1078. We're at 1078 on the original gravity. So I'm glad I got that reading. I'm going to write that down. 0.078. OG 1078. Underneath 1078. Alright. Get the cover on. Get a bubbler. Whew. Come on, need a bong. And a bong. Need a bong and a bubbler. Whew. There we go. Good enough. And we'll let this sit, cool down, and we'll pitch the yeast tomorrow. All right, it's 24 hours later on the peach mead we're making. It'll be flavored with a peach extract. We're going to put the yeast in here. Everything's sanitized. Hopefully I won't spill it. I probably will. And get that in there. Pitch the yeast. That's all there is to that noise. And we'll put our airlock back in after we sanitize it. And get a little fluid in there, of course. And we'll let that sit there and ferment for Now we'll have a couple rackings, of course. But should be a good 6 months maybe before we bottle. 'Cause I don't rush my meads. I like to go slow. Let them go slow. Oops. And like I say, this one came in at, I'll get it back in the corner a little bit there. I gotta get it wrapped up with a towel. Keep her out of the light as it ferments. Oh, I got a mess in here. We got to get cleaned up. So, all right, let's get this wrapped up with something. So to get her out of the light. And what I got over here or something. So I normally put a t-shirt over this, but I just got a towel right now, so that'll be good enough. Just to keep her out of the light. You don't want to get light struck like a beer. So nice and wrapped up there in a little beach towel. And we'll check back on there in 24 hours, see what it looks like.